Okay, so new uniform for HELA. This thing looks absolutely fabulous. Gotta say, the visuals bang on, as to be expected from the Marvel Future Fight team. But I got one question for you guys. Any of you guys look at this uniform and because of the wings, it makes you think of a nihilist? I don't know, like ever since I picked up this uniform yesterday, all I can think about is a nihilist and how badly I would love if he got added to the game as a speed world boss legend. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about that thought. Anyways, that being said, let's talk about HELA and this new uniform for her because it's fabulous for more than just the visuals. So the uniform bonus is transforming the character into a PvP meta in my book in terms of the support value that it offers. Most teams now run Sentry, and because Sentry is a superhero, you can do 50% more damage to him, take 30% less damage, which is really good. A lot of people are running teams that heavily rely on Gilgamesh and Cersei, maybe even running the entire Eternal team with Icarus lead, Gilgamesh for DPS and tank, and then Cersei for support, which is a team filled with heroes. So this uniform for HELA definitely is going to be one of those uniforms that last the test of time, just because there's so many really powerful heroes in the game that come in and out of the meta when it comes to PvP. So Silver Surfer is still in there. I'm sure when he gets another uniform in the future, whenever that is, he's going to be a powerhouse. When Jean Grey gets another uniform, that's a thing that's gonna happen. Mark my words, it's only a matter of time before we see another Jean Grey uniform. Wolverine is in PvP now. Shang-Chi is in PvP. The Defenders, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones. So there's lots of really good PvP characters right now. And if you're like me and you play Alliance Conquest, this uniform for HELA is a big deal. We putting in work over here on this side. We're a top 10 in Alliance Conquest. By the way, we have one spot open if anybody has a really good roster and they want to hit me up. Just a shameless plug there for you. But this uniform for HELA, I find extreme value in it because of the PvP value that is there. And you get that without even tier 3 in the character or really needing to build her. Do keep in mind her artifact also gives her an undead or unkillable passive like Null and Wolverine. So that's a thing. However, the entirety of her kit isn't built for PvP in my eyes. It's just her uniform bonus. In case you don't know what I mean, like if you look at her kit, she has no penetration on her 1 through 5. You actually have to get her tier 3 before you get penetration. That's a big deal, and that's never gonna happen. Well, let me not say never say never, right? But in most cases, you're not going to get your tier 3 up unless you have the artifact for HELA. She's gonna die long before that. So do keep that in mind. If you're building her for PvP, you're gonna need her artifact, and you're gonna need the tier 3 here. Like tier 3 goes without saying, but you're gonna need her artifact because if people have damage immunity on their skills, invincibility, or they have an invincibility obelisk, or they have, let's say, a CTP of authority, HELA has no way of getting through that. Additionally, HELA does not have iframe ignore on any of her regular skills, and I think this is a missed opportunity, and I honestly believe they need to look at adding at least iframe ignore on her counter ability, because if you look at some of the counter abilities in the game like Wolverine, Shang-Chi, Silver Surfer, the good ones, right? They all have that in common where they have iframe ignore on the counter skill. She actually doesn't have that. That's a big problem because in timeline battle, you'll find that she stands in place when people jump in their iframe, and she'll try to do her counter here or there, and if she gets it off, she can one-shot them if they're a hero. But most of the time, if you go up against a character that has a long iframe that does a decent amount of damage, they'll kill off HELA long before she can do anything to them, just because of the fact that she has no skills that ignore iframe outside of her tier 3, and you need to use your other skills to build up to your tier 3. So that's a problem. I think they need to look at that. That might have been something they overlooked, because generally when they give characters counter abilities these days, the counter abilities have iframe ignore. So let me know what you guys think of that. Secondly, And this is one thing that's gonna really hurt HELA if you want to play her with a damage proc. That's kind of a problem I have with the character right now, is she has damage accumulation on her third skill. It's damage accumulation like Sharon Rogers or Doctor Doom or even War Machine, even though his is only 13% of his attack, where this is 15%. However, they put the damage accumulation on a counter ability, and this is a big problem because of the fact that if you pop this skill and you get hit by an attack, what's gonna happen is HELA, oh, let me just attack. Why are these guys not attacking me? The AI is on. These guys are idiots. Okay, there we go, we got their attention now. So you pop the third skill and then you get hit by an attack. She instantly counterattacks, and that's gonna trigger your damage proc. That's a problem, right? Because HELA's most powerful skill outside of the tier 3 is more than likely her 5th skill. So if you pop the 3rd skill, something hits you before you jump into your 5th skill, guess what happens? Your proc goes off early and you don't get that much damage. So that's kind of a problem. Additionally, HELA's kind of tough to play with a regular damage proc, because a lot of people, they're going to look at her 4th skill and they're going to think, okay, so I should put out the 4th skill first and then go into the 3rd skill for the damage accumulation, because if I do 3 then 4, I'm in an iframe and my damage accumulation is running out before I can put out this death wave, or I don't know if you know what you want to call that thing that's on the ground there, boy. But if you do 3 then 4, you waste a couple seconds when you're in an iframe where you can't take any damage, so you're not accumulating anything, right? So a lot of people are gonna try to do 4, but the 4 has so many hits on it before you even put that fog on the ground that it's gonna trigger your damage proc if you're using her with a traditional proc, right? So that's a problem. However, what I've done with her and what I'm gonna do in this video is actually go 3 then 5, use the 5, and then after the 5 I'm gonna use the 4, and I'm gonna try to get the 4 down in 2 and 1 and go through the rest of the skills just like that. However, HELA doesn't do that much damage on her 1 through 5. No matter how well you try to proc with her, I would still say you should try to proc on your 5 as much as possible and try to accumulate as much damage as possible. But the most important thing that you need to do with HELA is try to build your tier 3 as quickly as possible. Even if you have to just throw away the skills to get to the tier 3, because it's going to take you 2.5 rotations minimum to get her tier 3 up. They made it very, very difficult to get her tier 3. Well, it's not difficult per se, it just takes a while to get her tier 3, and that's because her tier 3 is very, very, very powerful. It's one of the most powerful tier 3 skills in the game. I would say it's up there with Sharon Rogers, Doctor Doom, the likes, those characters. It's really, really powerful, and one thing you absolutely need to do before you trigger the 3rd skill is make sure that you pop, before you trigger the tier 3 is make sure you pop the 3rd skill. That's what I meant to say. Right, because you want to get that damage accumulation up so you can supercharge it with a tier 3 and then pop off, because she does so much damage. It's absolutely insane how strong this girl currently is. So I want to show that to you guys. 180 proc, the build is incomplete. We got some energy attack and some crit rate on her. I'm not too sure why they didn't give her any kind of crit rate buffs. That's kind of a bummer, because that means if I want to max out her crit rate, I'm going to have to give her a bunch of Odin's Blessings, and even then it might not be enough because I'm only at 58%. I want to try her with a CTP of energy because I strongly believe, honestly, that because she has 20% chain hit here, they intentionally made her a little bit tricky to play because they wanted her to be played with a CTP of Rage. But it's kind of like Doctor Doom, where Doctor Doom has a lot of chain hit in his skill set, and because of that, if you give him a CTP of energy, he just pops off and does so much damage. I'm noticing that because HELA has the chain hit here, she actually does so much damage with a regular proc that if you give her a CTP of energy, it's just going to take it to the next level. But proccing with her consistently outside of the tier 3 rotation might be an issue if you're trying to do 4 delay cancel, 3 proc on 5. So I'm just switching up the rotation to be more consistent with her. You guys let me know in the comments what rotation you're using with HELA but this is the one that I've found that works for me. Getting to the tier 3 as fast as possible, popping the third skill, and then going right into the tier 3. Now with that being said, let's get right to it. I won't keep you guys too long. Just want to give you a brief little showcase. The thing about HELA is, because she's a female supervillain, there's not a lot of stages that you can use her on. You can see for yourself. It really limits you all the way up until the 40 range right here against Mephisto. I can use her on 9, but come on, man. I got 25% Pierce on my card. She's going to cut through 9 like it's nothing, right? I was hoping that there would be a middle stage where I could use her, but unfortunately, villains have to be really strong in this game to stand out, because for War Boss Legend, it's the 30s and 40s where you really get to use them. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do stage 40 Mephisto with an obelisk for her. So you're going to have to look out for another video when we have a CTP on her, and then I'll show you guys how she does there. But I will show you how she does over here against Null, because we can do at least 29. So there's two ways you can go about playing HELA. You can try and do the retaliation play like you would with Sharon Rogers, where you sit back and try to accumulate damage and then do the big retaliation play that way. But for me, and what I'm noticing that works best for me in terms of like getting the fastest clear time possible, is just getting through the rotations as quickly as possible, and then trying to proc on the tier 3 after I put up the third skill. I find that I get my fastest clear times when I don't even worry about the retaliation play. You could say I'm throwing skill and all that stuff out the window, really. And then just like, well, I guess there's a little bit of skill and timing like when you use the third and the tier 3, but like for the majority of the fight, realistically, I'm just like mashing the skills, getting through the rotation as quickly as possible. I wanted to duck that cage. That sucked. Okay, let's go. We get the proc on 5, that's good. I'm not even gonna worry about like the 4 really. Okay, this should be nice. That's juice because the tentacle hit me. Yeah, bro, like realistically, don't even worry about your 1 through 5 rotation. None of that matters. All that matters is that you land your proc on your 6 when the time comes. It's an all or nothing kind of playstyle, boys. Alright, so I wanted to get off the tier 3 there, but it's okay. Just wait until we get a superhero. Superhero! Doesn't matter. We almost died there. But we can heal up, accumulate some more damage, and then just drill him with like... I don't even know what that's... the Niflheim serpent? I don't know, bro. I don't know what we're calling that thing, bro. But, yeah. Okay. That thing looks freaking mental. Alright, let's go. Ah, come on. Come on. Alright, so let's go. Pop, pop. I want to use the 5 because I want him to hit me before I jump into the iframe on the tier 3. At first, I thought the tier 3 was not an iframe until I looked closely and I seen that there was an iframe in the middle of it. Alright, so I'm gonna like drill him here. Hit him with that sweet chin music. Call me Shawn Michaels, bro. Look at the damage, boys. I'm gonna hit him with that sweet chin music. Sure, I guess. We're gonna get caught up. Yeah. That's fine. This is actually going to work out better for me because then I can push him down without using the tier 3 and then just like hit him with that sweet shit. See what I'm saying? I tried to do the 3 delay 4, 5 rotation there, and then the proc triggered on the 4. It's always going to happen that way for me. That's like I would say 80% chance of that happening every single time. So for me, I just worry about like landing my proc on my tier 3. And then just flexing on mans. So we have plenty of time left. If she had the artifact, I would have just gone in and just kept attacking. I want to finish this up with the tier 3. But will we have enough time to get all the skills in? You can see the damage difference between when you have the tier 3 hitting and when you don't. It's night and day, bro. It gives you that Doctor Doom vibe where when Doctor Doom hits his tier 3, you know somebody's getting erased. It's the same thing with HELA, guys. Anyways, man, I'm gonna wrap it up here. You know what? Let me give you guys a little sample of how she does against Mephisto, man. Even though we don't have the power right now to do 40, let me just give you guys a little sample. We can't use her here anyways because like it's female superhero. Like it really sucks, man. Like they need to shuffle around the requirements, man. I don't think she yo. Let's see how fast she goes with these guys though. Yeah, they need to shuffle around the requirements to make it so that it's not always so boring. Well, it's not boring. It's just static, bro. Do it like story every month. Shuffle. Anyways, shuffle. I think if I give her a rage, she could do 40. And that says a lot because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure she's gonna kill off the yeah. Bro, the serpent didn't even hit this man. This man died to just like the spikes flying out. Like that's crazy. I know some of you guys gonna complain like you're not using the right rotation. Hey listen, the only rotation that matters is the tier 3 rotation. And that's the bottom line. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Exactly. The only rotation that matters is the freaking tier 3 rotation. So there's a good and a bad side to that. There's a good side where like you only have to worry about hitting your proc every third rotation or something like that. But like the bad side is if you miss, you're screwed. Okay, like if it's a really high stage and you miss your proc, you are screwed. You're chopped and screwed, like T-Pain said. Like, it is over for this, man. Look at this. Look at the bars, bro. More bars than a goddamn prison, bro. Jeez. But yeah, man, I wish I could use her in the 20s and give you guys some content up there, but we really can't because the stages don't allow it. But you can see for yourself, HELA a menace, bro. HELA actually a menace. She gives me Doctor Doom vibes. I think if you build her for PvP, she can still do PvE content. So like if you wanted to, you could give her like an authority or whatever. And I think with that much damage on the tier 3, she still would be hitting really, really hard depending on how far up you're pushing, right? If you, because like you could see from Mephisto, she can't do more than 9 until you get into the 40s. So if you don't plan on using her against Mephisto and you have better characters, well, to be honest, calm down, bro. Better characters? I was gonna say you have better characters for no, but realistically, I don't think there's very many characters that are better than her in the game, point blank, period, based on the damage that I'm seeing. If you build her offensively and give her like an energy to give her more chain hit damage, it's just gonna be insane. Like, might be putting maybe one of the mighties, I don't know, maybe not the brilliance, just because like it's not realistic. I might never use these, well, not never, but maybe not for like another year, because like not a lot of you guys have brilliance, right? So maybe I'll try out the mighties on her. If you guys want to see a mighty destruction on HELA, let me know. It'll be interesting to see if she could actually cut down maybe like 39 against Null and then 39 against Mephisto. Well, actually it's 40 against Mephisto, isn't it?